Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with StampinWithDiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if you're joining me today, it's Technique Tuesday. How did they do that? And basically, I always ask people, are there different things that you'd like me to show? And I've never put this particular product, I've never really put it into my technique thing. And if you are asking for something that I've done already with techniques, what I would do is I would just try to switch it up and give you another technique in itself. I have to tell you, I could have gone really wild with using this embossing paste and stencils, but I decided today what I was going to do. Because this person said, I don't know how to use this. So I'm going to do a beginner class and show you the ins and outs with stencils and embossing folders. So I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy that. Hello, Barb and Lorraine and Kay. Leona, Barb, you got my package today. Oh, good. You're so welcome. And Janet, welcome. Like I say, now remember, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're watching from YouTube, make sure you do that down below. And if you're on Facebook, if you're not on my page, but you're on my group, just give StreamYard permission. That way I know that I am that way I know who I'm talking to. Remember, this is part of a live. So if I am chit-chatting back and forth with everybody else and you don't like that, you're watching that on a replay, just scoot on by that part. But they could have questions that you may have and need yourself. In any event, what I'm doing today is I am using stencils with the embossing paste. Like I say, I like to kind of do something. I don't mind doing beginner classes or beginner techniques on this sort of stuff. So I'm actually showing and using the stencils that are the Abundant Beauty decorative masks. And they have some beautiful, these are leaves. And I thought, oh, I could really do some really nice stuff with these leaves as well. And then there's that beautiful one that I'm sure that you've seen out there with these sunflowers that are like a 3-step sunflower thing, and they're gorgeous in themselves. But I just decided I'm not going to do that. There's lots of that stuff out there. I love this herringbone. It's a lot of fun. This, I was actually going to do something with this today and do it into a Halloween sort of type thing. But then I thought, you know what? Let's just do this Very Cute, because I want to talk to you about the Very Cute. Very Cute is part of my Your Creativity Awaits bundle. Your Creativity Awaits, it's the card class that has 6 different cards that go along with it. Great class if you're by distance or because it's all done online. I do a video for you. I also have a PDF for you and that sort of stuff. So I wanted to show this Very Cute, and I'm just going to do something with this and the snowflakes. These snowflake stencils are so dang cute. And they're so pretty. Now, I really wish this is just the plain white embossing paste. I really wish that I still had some of the sparkled or the glimmer ones. Hello, Margaret. 4th day of spring down in Australia. Yes. Wow. Well, we're getting quite cool, but it has been a beautiful day today, a beautiful fall day for us. All right, so this is the white embossing paste. You notice I took that out of a plastic bag. Very, very important that you screw the lid on very, very tight, and you put it into a plastic bag. Sometimes I put it into 2 plastic bags. This could go hard, and does it come back by adding water? Not great. I'm just forewarning you. You're also going to need a palette knife. And I'm going to use my silicone mat on here as well. I'm going to tell you one other thing with when you're using stencils or stencils and the embossing paste is that you need to go in and you need to basically wash them up very quickly after you've used them. And that is probably the best advice that I can give you. But the technique I'm doing today is a stencil with the embossing paste. So I'm going to show you different ways that you can do this. This is a great way to add texture to your card. You could do texture to your scrapbooking as well. But it's so fun to actually do this. And you know, okay, I still got that. I am not using masking tape. I mean masking tape. I'm just going to use my painter's tape on this particular project as well. So what I'm going to do is first show you a couple of things with this. And you know what? I might even just go in with a different stencil so that you can see different things. And then we'll go ahead and do the one with the snowflakes. Now, one thing that you can do with your stencil is you can put it on here, and what you want to do is you want to secure it down with the masking tape. Now, another thing, you can't really go and do this immediately onto a card. So I've kind of done my card base differently, but you need to basically, you have to let it dry. And it doesn't take a long time to dry. I'd say about an hour. But it's pretty good. It dries pretty quick. All right, so I'm just going to put this herringbone down here, and I want to show you just the basic sort of parts of it. So like I say, it has inside here, I always put that back in there, and it has this foil thing on there. And then all you want to do is just go in, and if you have it high up onto your thing there, it's going to dry a lot quicker. So you don't need a whole lot. I've had this for a year, so it's okay. So all you're going to do is you're just going to go down, take your palette knife, and then you're just going to run it. Now, you can go and you can do it different. You don't have to cover the full amount. But what you want to do is then come in and smooth it down completely. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that whole piece of cardstock. And there's so many different things that you can go ahead and do with this once it's dry. And maybe that's for another time in itself. All right, so let's just go, and I'm just going to make sure I've got that. Like I say, this is something that you're going to want to go, and you're going to want to clean these stencils off immediately. Because they do tend to it dries, and it dries. It's almost like some sort of a paste that you put on the wall. All right, so I'm just going to take off my masking tape. So this is one way to quickly do this, and then I'm going to show you another way. All right, so you're just going to lift that off like so. And then you've got this beautiful design on there. And that's a color on color because this happens to be white. Now, I would have been smart to take that over to the edge. I didn't do that, but we'll do that on the next one, I think. All right, so I'm going to just put that off to the side, and we'll use that for something later on. All right, so I have another piece here. So I'm just going to go ahead, and let's go ahead and put that on there. Now, I want it to go right to that edge. I didn't do that the last time. So let me just move that down. I'm going to use the masking tape. I got a bit of the embossing paste on there, so I want to take that off. Are there any questions? Hello, Corinne. All right, so I'm just going to go up here. Whoops. I really want to kind of put this off to one side, and you'll see why in just a second. All right, I'm going to do it off to this side because I want to show you something. It's really important that you put this down so that it stays down. You can put this masking tape along so that none of that is going to show, and that might be a good idea. you don't want it going off onto your mask or your silicone mat. Now, I'm not going to do the whole thing on this, but I'll give you the idea of how this is. I'm going to come out. You know what? I might even get it all on there. And I'm coming in with that masking. With that embossing paste. And I'm now going to color it. Now, my whole thought would have been, ooh, this would have been really good done in pumpkin pie if I'm thinking of doing it on Halloween. And I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to experiment with it. I'm going to come in with my Memento Black. I want to do my herringbone black. So you just take your re-inker, and then let's just, this may not get black enough. Yeah, might. It's going to be gray anyways. You know what? I think I'm going to go with just a tiny bit more of the black. Now, this would have been pretty cool on a piece of pumpkin pie paper. But all we want to do is just mix that together. And then I'm just going to come in here. And we're just going to just spread that down. Now, like I say, I don't know if I have enough on there. I might. We're going to try to work it anyways. And I could cut off pieces of this to match it so that it works okay. Now, this is a color that could stain your fingers. But I should have put that on pumpkin pie paper. I think that would have been really, really nice. And you know what? I probably should have done this one last because I'm going to go in and use the same palette knife. All right, so we just want to get that down on here. And you just need a very, very thin layer on here. So you're seeing how I'm kind of working that in there. And why you want a plastic palette knife, well, I guess a metal would work okay. But you're just getting that put into there, into all those areas. Now I'm just going to come in with some paper towel and get this off right away. And ooh, I probably should have come in with a wet, because this could be, you know what? I'll do something in just a second. All right, so then I'm just going to take this off just like that. And now it has texture on it. Just like that. On this piece of cardstock. And look at it there. And I guess we could go and we could sponge that. But it has texture, and how fun is that with a herringbone? Every time I see this herringbone like this, I think of, I remember seeing Lady Gaga, and she was on a, at her piano, and she was wearing herringbone. And it was quite a big herringbone. All right, so I'm just coming, and that's just plain water, because I just want to clean this off. Okay, and we're going to hope that this all comes off. Okay. Like I say, I'm just going and spritzing that on there just to get the majority of it so that it's soaked with water. And I'm going to do the same with that particular stencil as well, because I want to make sure that that paste and the color is going to come off. So I'm just going to leave it wet until I go and wash this after my video. All right. But that herringbone looks amazing. And it, like I say, it's going to take a tiny bit to make it dry, about a half an hour. Now, the other one that I really like is this one here, this beautiful snowflake one. So I'm going to show you something that we can do just a tiny bit different. I'm just hoping that black doesn't come off on that. Let me just spritz that. Maybe we should be okay. All right. So I have a piece. This happens to be 3 3/4 by 5. Now it does have that bit of a lip on there, so I'm just actually smoothing that lip. And it was, what it is you can feel it when you're use the your trimmer. So I want to make sure that that's good and even, and that none of the mask is going to stick on it. It is a messy project. You might be smart to put one of those things down, right, from our designer series paper. So let's just go ahead and do that now. Now, I want to go and I want to show you another thing that you can actually do. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just a different variation with this. So I have my Misty Moonlight, and I want to get, I just want to blend some color on here. And you notice I'm just coming a tiny bit off of it. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot to watch the okay, does it clean off the template? What you should really do is have water and a bucket of water right beside you. It is very quick drying. That's why I sprayed that water on there. This, I can work on it. There is, you can see a tiny bit of residue on there, but you do need to clean it fairly quickly. They could be easily be used for tiny bats. Perhaps. You see bats. Okay. It is called houndstooth. What did I call it? Okay. I just misspoke. Oh, that's all about my thing. It's houndstooth. It is definitely houndstooth. Oh my goodness. Awesome. All right. So let's just get this. And this is Misty Moonlight that I'm using. Like I say, this piece, we're just going to do a card now. Remember, the technique is all about this is all about the technique. So the card is kind of secondary. If it comes up as a good card, okay, I'll take that. Awesome. So I'm just going to get a bit more ink on here. And the reason, like you notice when I did this, that you could see that you can go color on color, and white on white is amazing. And take that glitter one. Woo, so pretty with the snowflakes. Okay. You know what? I just want a tiny bit more here. Oh, thank you for sharing. I really, really do appreciate that. Houndstooth. I said houndstooth. It's not houndstooth, it's herringbone. Ah, that's what I said. Oh, goodness. Late in the day for me. I've been up for 12 hours. So, okay. So we have that like that. So I want to do the snowflakes. Now, I noticed that I had done this on the wrong side. There is a right and a wrong side on these stencils. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to use my masking tape. Like I say, you could use Post-it note tape. You can use masking tape. You can use washi tape. You can use any kind of tape. I just don't want this to move. And I'm just going to actually come right to the end there. And this one's okay, but I'm just going to come down here, and I don't want it to lift is what the reasoning is there. All right. So the reason I put that background on there was so that you can actually see, the snowflakes more. So it's like a sky, right? All right. So I have this here. I'm just going to come down, and I got you can put it back into the container, but this doesn't have that much open space. So I'm just gonna, I want to get all of those snowflakes covered is what I want to happen. And then now the reason we take this like this, and we're just putting it back in here, and then I'm going to move it down further in the jar. I'm just taking it like that. Move it down in the jar. I'm going to clean off my spatula, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that in a plastic bag. I want that to be sealed. You want to get all that air out of that Ziploc, and that you will have it for longer. Hello, Myrtle. Oh my goodness. And Pam from New Brunswick. Awesome. Lots of people from Australia, and we got people from Eastern Canada. That's great. All right. So like I say, I would go and spray that, but let's go ahead and take this off so that you can see this. Just take this off. And then when we lift this up, we want to do this very carefully. So when you lift it, you're just going to pull it completely straight up. Now, is that not, oh, it just reminds me of a starry night with snow. And I'm just going to take that along there and just smooth that off. So there's that. Now that is going to take a tiny bit for it to dry, but I've gone ahead and did that already. So let me just come back in with that. Oof, where is my spritzer bottle? And this will help save it until right after this video. I just want to get it wet, and then I'll just take it in and just clean it all off. And that's the best that I could do for this, for doing it live. All right, so let's just take that off. Oh, that herringbone is working really, really well. Okay, so that is still down. So I have another piece, and it doesn't look like I did it as much, but see, it's nice and dry, and it's raised. Now, if you wanted to, you could turn around and you could put some more color on it, and I'll show you another sample with that. I'd like it better with the darker here, but this will work okay. So I have a piece of Misty Moonlight, and it was Misty Moonlight that I used to sponge that with. So I'm just going to put this on. This was 3 3/4 by 5. This piece of Misty Moonlight is 4 by 5 1/4. And I think we're just going to just do a really simple card with this. This is a piece of thick basic white. It happens to be 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to put that on the front. But I'm not going to yet because I want to do a bit of stuff with it. This Berry Christmas has this amazing blue sparkly ribbon. And just think if that was that sparkly embossing paste, that would have been awfully pretty as well. And so I'm just going to come on with my tear and tape. And let's just secure that. And we're just actually just going to put a tiny bit of that on there. This is a really thick ribbon, so it kind of you don't want to tie a bow with it because honestly it's just too thick. All right, and where is my, there we go. Just going to come and put that on there. And one here as well. And we are definitely going to have to secure that with the tear and tape Let's see if that's straight. See, we double check that, right? So we're just going to put that on there like that. I think that's where it's going to go. Well, it's going to, because we're going to put this tear and tape and secure that. And this ribbon is thick, so it needs to be secured. I think I completely lost. I'm not sure what you're talking about. A David Jones. I've lost the conversation. So awesome. So that is going to go onto the front like this. But we're not going to put it on there quite yet. I'm actually coming in, just putting this on the back here, and we're going to make sure that we've got that in the right spot. Okay, so this very cute stamp set is very cute. It is adorable. So I'm just going to come in, and I've got the polar bear already on a stamp. And I'm actually going to use the Misty Moonlight to stamp this polar bear. Whoops, look at that. I didn't have it secured down there. Just going to use the Misty Moonlight to do that. And there's a bit of a blotch on there, so I'm going to do this again. Like so. And I think what would be good is to use the Misty Moonlight for the scarf. Oops. And this is so easy to line up. Just like that. Because this is kind of a blue type of card. And then we're going to come in with the punch. My goodness. That punch was here. I know it was. So all we're going to do is just rest our hand down on the table here. And let's just get our polar bear punched out. So then I have a 2-inch punch that I thought I'd just do this. Let's put this here. See how simple this card is coming together. It's so simple. And I honestly think that we need to put something on there for words. You know what? That's a 2-inch punch. I'm thinking to myself that maybe a 2 3/8 inch punch might be a good contrast to put behind. So I'm just going to come in where I punched that polar bear on that piece as well. Let's just go like this. There we go. We're pretty simple card. And do we want to put, oh, I would put Merry Christmas on there, but I have a funny feeling that that is at another part in the room. Yeah. There we go. Just like that. Sometimes it's amazing what's on this desk. All right, so we need that Misty Moonlight again. Here it is. And I have a piece that's a 1/2 inch. Now, these are photopolymer stamps, and I am using, this is part of grid paper. It's a whole pad of grid paper. So I do have enough cushioning. When you are using your berry Christmas, using any of your photopolymer, you want to definitely have a paper piercing mat on there. So we're just going to put that across there like so. All right, so now we can go ahead. Like I say, this would be really nice with it darker, but it's all good. Oh, okay. Okay. Now I understand what you're saying. Okay. Takes me a while. All right, so I'm just going to come in with some dimensionals. Now, this ribbon is quite thick, so what you're going to want to do is you don't want to put the dimensionals where it's going to go across the ribbon. So we're just going to put that. Oh, look at, I put it on the wrong side. That's okay. Let's just quickly take that off. There we go. Because I used the other part that I used on here. 2 sides to every piece of paper, right? Magical paper. All right, let's try that again. There we go. So this is just going to go on either side there of that ribbon. We're going to put, let's just put this right completely on there. This is a 2-inch circle. Okay, so we're just going to put that on there. Let's go ahead and put this on here with a dimensional and get it centered. A couple of dimensionals, actually. Very simple card, but showing that stenciling and those snowflakes. Beautiful. Now I could do it across there straight. We could do it on an angle, and I'm going to do it on an angle. But I also want to show you something else that I did. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll just sort of cut this off. Just go like that. There we go. And I'll show you something else that I've done with this particular thing. Okay, so now we've got that like that. So what we want to do is we want to put some embellishments on there. This one happens to have the Misty Moonlight. This is the 3, the Tinsel Gems, the 3-pack. And I thought this would look really nice with this. Let's go and one right here as well. There we go. And now that is on there. I'm going to actually go and put some more tear and tape on there because I kind of ripped it off there. And this ribbon is quite thick, like I said earlier. So I was thinking to myself that what would be good, and I know this is a tiny bit of overkill on there, is to basically put dimensionals on there. Let's see how it would look. You know what? It'll look okay. So I'm actually going to just glue that on. So if with that ribbon being a little bit thicker, you could have turned around and put dimensionals behind it. All right, so we're just going to do that. And then this is Merry Christmas, and I'm just going to go Christmas is Better together. Let's just put that onto a block. And we're going to put that on the inside. And to tie the inside to the outside, we could also use a snowflake or 2 for the inside. Let's see how that's going to look. So this is just going to go on here. Let's go ahead and put this on. And that is a Misty Moonlight. So we are definitely going to want to let that just sit for a bit. And then let's just put this bigger snowflake down, right down. Well, you know what? I think the smaller snowflake, if I can find it. Here it is. Okay. All right. Just put that on there. And then, like I say, I just want to show you the other part. Let's just put that there. That's going to tie the snowflakes all together. And then this is the front of the card. I just want to kind of let that sit for a second. Now, I went and also turned around, and I want to show you something else that you can do with this. I went and I sponged the background. I also went and stamped the snowflakes from the Sparkling Snowflakes dies. And then I went and I colored the snowflakes. This is done with a balmy blue. And it almost looks like that puffy paint. It almost looks like a felt. But there's another idea that you can turn around and do as well with that. So this, like I say, you can kind of see those snowflakes a little bit more, but this just gives you kind of an idea what to do. All right. So that is the stenciling with embossing paste. So I hope that you got some ideas from that. I'll bring these back in. So here's that houndstooth herringbone. It's houndstooth. I'm sure it's houndstooth. And then there's this. So, and then the white on white as well. And here's the white on white. So it kind of just shows you how that turns up. This looks really sharp. This would look really nice, like I say, if it was done on the red, and you could use that for Halloween as well. And you know what? Like, this white is almost dry. It would move around, so you want to be very, very careful with that. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Come back tomorrow at 9:05 in the morning. Oh, thank you. Oh, school holidays. Oh my goodness. Just wait, I'm trying to see. You know, like I say, very simple technique, but I did want to show this to you. So, houndstooth. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out. If you have any ideas of different techniques that you want to see, by all means, I would love to show you those different. Pam, it's almost dry, but I wouldn't play with this. It feels moist on the back. This one I let dry for about an hour. So it's just showing you that it's all good. Awesome. So tomorrow what's going to happen is I'll put this on with the different measurements for the card as well. And I might even just take a picture of these and put this up in this part here, but you can cover it up with your samples as well. I just kind of want to, I'm just going to go double on here. But this will be on at 9:05 on my Facebook group, which is just down below here. If you like that, give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate that if you do that. And remember, if you live in Canada, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I do have some generous rewards for shopping with me. In any event, you guys have a great day. Remember to create because it's great for the soul. Bye for now.